From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the morning news for November 4th, 2025. These are the stories we are covering at this. The government shutdown is poised to become the longest ever this week as the impasse between Democrats and Republicans has dragged into a new month. Millions of people stand to lose food aid benefits. Healthcare subsidies are set to expire, and there are few real talks between the parties over how to end it. President Donald Trump said in an interview that aired Sunday that he won't be extorted by Democrats who are demanding negotiations to extend the expiring Affordable Care Act subsidies. Echoing congressional Republicans, the president said on CBS's 60 Minutes he'll negotiate only when the government is reopened. Trump said Democrats have lost their way and predicted they'll capitulate to Republicans. Somehow I doubt anyone could capitulate as fast as CBS. Trump says, scrap the filibuster, and Thune says, how about no? Well, I think they have to, Trump said, and if they don't vote, it's their problem. Trump's comments signal the shutdown could drag on for some time as federal workers, including air traffic controllers, are set to miss additional paychecks, and there's uncertainty over whether 42 million Americans who receive federal food aid will be able to access the assistance. Senate Democrats have voted 13 times against reopening the government, insisting they need Trump and Republicans to negotiate with them first. The president also reiterated his pleas to Republican leaders to change Senate rules and scrap the filibuster. Senate Republicans have repeatedly rejected that idea since Trump's first term, arguing the rule requiring 60 votes to overcome any objections in the Senate is vital to the institution and has allowed them to stop Democratic policies when they're in the minority. Trump said that's true, but we're here right now, and soon we won't be. Moving on to the next story. Trump did not outright endorse Earle Winsome-Sears for Virginia governor. In a teletown hall, Trump said Virginians should vote for Republicans up and down the ballot and double down on his support for Republican Attorney General Jason Miyares. Despite throwing barbs at Abigail Spanberger, the Democratic candidate for governor, the president avoided key opportunities to fully endorse Republican Winsome Earle-Sears by name. Earle-Sears did not speak during the call. Republicans will bring back everything that you want, Trump said. You're going to have crime way down. You're going to have energy way down. Virginia Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin, who is term limited, seemingly attempted to shift the conversation back to Earle-Sears after the president ended his remarks. My friends, this is a moment for us to stand strong as Virginians and vote Republican down the line, Youngkin said. Winsome, John Reed, Jason Miyares, and for the delegate in your district. Turning to other news, the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children received an additional $450 million in funding, according to a senior administration official who spoke Monday on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss the decision publicly. The WIC program helps low-income mothers buy nutritious staples. Last month, some states warned they only had enough money to operate their WIC programs until mid-November because of the government shutdown. The administration last month reallocated $300 million in unspent tariff revenue to keep the program running. Politico first reported on the funding Monday afternoon. Turning to Pennsylvania news, Jewish and Catholic faith leaders condemned a Halloween parade float that carried a replica of the gate to the Nazi concentration camp at Auschwitz, as the designer behind it apologized, saying he made it with no ill intent. The replica gate, topped with a sign, Arbeit macht frei, which means work will set you free, was included on the float made for St. Joseph Catholic School in Hanover for a parade Thursday. Hanover is in a rural part of Pennsylvania about 50 miles northwest of Baltimore. Nazi German forces murdered over 1 million people at the Auschwitz site in southern Poland near Auschwitz between 1940 and 1945. Most of their victims were Jews killed on an industrial scale in gas chambers, but victims also included Poles, Roma, Soviet prisoners of war, gay people, and others. Now, according to Penn Live, at the last minute, Galen Shelley, who designed the float, said he built his own version to create a vision of a somber entrance to a cemetery. He said he researched photos of cemeteries online. I wanted to illustrate the idea none of us get out of this alive. Shelley said, I never intended anything to be like this. I couldn't have anticipated. How could you not have anticipated that this wouldn't cause anger? I made a mistake, and I ask everyone's forgiveness. The elaborate float also featured ghosts on a swing set and a rock and roll jukebox. Shelley said he is upset by the repercussions from his mistake and feels badly for the church and school, including the students. He also said the driver of the float, Metcalf Cleaning LLC in Hanover, is not responsible. On Saturday, the cleaning company issued a statement on Facebook. Our company volunteered to pull a float for a local community group. However, we were not involved in the creation of its decorations or messaging. And that's the news. If you're watching our news videos on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. The On Auschwitz podcast, which normally airs at 5 p.m. on Tuesdays, will return to its usual time next Tuesday at 5. Tune in today at 5 for the Othering podcast. The Halloween online auction is ongoing through November 6th, and they'll tell you more about that when the show is on later this evening. Coming up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.